President Paul Biya is expected to convene the 2025 presidential election latest July 12th, that is 90 days before the polls, as stipulated by Section 86, Sub 2 of the Electoral Code. And aspirants will have 10 days after the election is announced to file in their candidature as per Article 123 of the Electoral Weapon. While waiting for those key moments, the electoral euphoria is rising, with different political parties and different political leaders carrying out different activities ahead of the major key moments. But how decisive are those pre-electoral rallies, pre-electoral campaigns? That will be our discussion in today's edition of 360 Degrees. We are beaming live from the nation's economic capital, Douala, and we shall be with you for the next 1 hour. Stay with us. If you are just joining us, this is 360 Degrees. We are coming live from Douala, and like we earlier said, today we are looking at how decisive are the different pre-electoral campaigns. We see rallies, we see movements, we see meetings going on within the national territory and even out of Cameroon. And we're asking the questions, are those key rallies, do they have a role to play? Will they be decisive when the electoral polls will be convened by the head of state in, of course, about a month ago? And today we are supposed to have 4 gentlemen in the studio, but we have 3 at the moment. Dr. John Ako will be joining us soon on set. But then let's welcome those who are already present. I have Mr. NDIWUM Emmanuel. Mr. NDIWUM Emmanuel is a civil society actor. He's been on this set several times, and we are happy that you were able to accept our invitation today once again. You're welcome.
Yes, Chia, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have thought once more that 90 minutes, that 360 degrees is missing us down here in Douala. And I wish to take this opportunity to greet my co-panelists who are right here with me, especially my brother KEDIA Malanfe. And to think that to get to your studio has been with a lot of fear for the fact that the announcement of the decree of the SDU of EUPHORIA yesterday has scared a lot of people, and movements are almost timid. We want to frown on this kind of attitude that our civil administrators are gradually becoming gods and lords over us, which I think this is one of the things that is putting us enough energy to be able to fight back, because we cannot be in our country and we cannot circulate free. Given the fact that it is...
They say it's because of security.
No, please. It's a political standard we wouldn't accept, we would abide. And briefly, this is a time that children are writing GCE. There's a lot of student movement in Douala and like elsewhere. When you ban motorbikes, which is the sole means by which students use to get to their schools for revisions, get to the different centers for writing. Today is Saturday and they're writing in some center. How do you expect them to pass to a core public daido for the writing? It is really sad. These are the kind of things we keep drawing the attention of the civil administrators, that they should think for the nation and not for an individual. Okay.
We have Peter METAMBI. Peter METAMBI is one of the leaders of the NOW movement in Cameroon fighting against corruption. He has equally been here some time ago. He's here again. Thanks for honoring our invitation once again.
Thank you, Mr. John, for your invitation. It is an honor to contribute to this very crucial discussion. So too, I was really embarrassed when I saw the circular from the division officer. I was like asking, which kind of insecurity are we confronted with that will restrict people from going about their usual business? More especially to the fact that we are in an examination period We have young ones who are going up and down to write the exam. I was really, taken aback with that circular. However, I think that we are in a political moment, and we expect some level of fair play amongst Cameroonians to express themselves without any fear, and to see on how they can convince Cameroonians on their different ideologies.
Okay.
So once again, thank you for inviting me, and a special hi to all the millions of televiewers and to my co-panelists.
Thanks once again for coming. I have Robert KEDIA. Robert KEDIA is a politician, and he is one of those who communicates for the ruling party, the CPDM. KEDIA, we are honored to have you again.
Thank you very much. Greetings to you, greetings to my co-panelists, and special greetings to the head of state, President Paul Biya, that will keep on supporting till he finishes his project that he has now till 2035, which we must, of course, support him for the nation to emerge. You see, Maya or what my co-panelists they said, but their informations were not really clear. They make Cameroonian to feel or believe that there was a complete ban all over Douala. No, there was no complete ban all over Douala. It was a particular and specific areas, which we all know. There is no ban in Bonaberi, there is no ban in Douala 3, there is no ban in Douala 2. We have just a runabout that in between Douala 5 and of course Douala 1 around the Dedo area that the representative of the head of state, which is of course the senior divisional officer, based with the informations that he has, which I believe that many of us or all of us here, we are ignorant because nobody has spoken with the SGO to get the reason why this did. But he said it was for security reasons.
Yes, but
I think he has those information.
Yes, but are you denying the fact that what they are underlining as an inconvenience for students is not a reason for people to
I have not said that. I just said that they should say it's in a particular place in Douala and not say it is in Douala. We all understand what that statement means. When they say in Douala, they are giving an impression that it's all over, which of course I understand that is a political movement to give impression which is wrong.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Ako John Ako is here already. Dr. Ako John is a political analyst, and he is one of those who drive the seats of civil society in Cameroon. Doc, you're welcome.
The pleasure is mine once again on Canada International. And again, the topic we have is very pertinent. A lot of Cameroonians have been waiting that 2025, what comes and how will Cameroonians react. But it is not really surprising that we see the authorities that be today in Douala, that a divisional officer take upon himself to stop movement of persons. And I'll tell you that the senior divisional officer of that particular division, the Vuri area, decided to stop freedom of individuals, which is an incarnated right, a natural right, which Cameroon is a party to. So many international conventions, one of it is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and Freedom, and that at any time freedoms are touched, a lot of other issues are affected, meaning the economy equally is at stake. I was around Carrefour this morning and I realized it's not the same Carrefour I used to know, because movement has been restricted, and which means you shift a lot of burden on a common Cameroonian that has to trek meters to get to where he is going. None of them have ever seen that. But where is this republic? Why this audacity? Why the dictatorship? And then behind, you fool Cameroonians that you are the father of a modern democratic society of Cameroon. We have seen Donald Trump being installed into office, and Americans are everywhere shooting stones and throwing placards on him, and nobody has ever stopped them from coming out. When Cameroonians have the audacity of organizing huge manifestations abroad and in their own country, whenever that is done, it is always reprimand with the aspect of security. What security? To which Cameroonians are we really secure? Before now, 2 or 3 years ago, when in Yaoundé, people said there was the issue of microbe, and a lot of people, a lot of fear in the same town where we thought it's supposed to be guarded by the highest level of security. But when it's a civil movement coming from a political party, I will tell you that they have erred in the management of the state, and I believe their time is up, and all these are signs that the end time is not far for the ruling party. I will equally want to use this opportunity, maybe not to know that we are one of the people of the Hope movement that believes in Batonia Keremuna, and that the liberation for Cameroon is not far, and that Akeremuna is going to make a new Cameroon.
Okay.
So we are marching towards the new republic.
Okay, I'll give you time to catch your breath again. NDIWUM Emmanuel, I will begin with you. What picture do you paint of the various pre-campaign electoral movements that we have now in Cameroon, all over the national territory?
I want to start by saying that as the topic goes, you are talking about euphoria.
Yes.
The question would have been, is the euphoria coming from those who are priding themselves as aspirants, presidential candidates?
That's why I want you to paint the picture.
Yes, or the euphoria is coming from the citizens who are so much thirsty for the long-awaited change.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the citizens on their part, they are just confused because a lot of clowns have taken the stage, and each day that breaks, you see another new clown cropping up to say, I want to be a president. Actually, they have made it a child's play, and I want to think the handwork is the handwork of the CPDM that is working invisibly from behind.
Do you have cause to be accusing the CPDM like that?
Yes, no, they are used to it.
Okay.
When you go back to what happened in 1992 with John Fundi and those who helped the present president to remain there, like the Buba Bello Magaris, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I am saying that they have made it in such a way that there is no seriousness on the part of those who claim they want to change Cameroon, except for few persons. And that is why at any time when you see a serious move, like the one that Professor Maurice Kamto made in France, I begin to wonder how somebody organizes a rally in France and it is affecting Douala, a full-time citizen of Cameroon who has the right to move in and out
of the country.
But then the poor citizens are today paying a price because somebody organized a rally in France. Whereas other people, other clowns will organize similar events. Even in their quarter, nobody will be aware.
When you say clowns,
I said there are a lot of clowns.
What type of people you are referring to as
those
clowns?
people who have been claiming that they want to represent or to replace President Bia,
Okay.
whom in the night works for his favor. Because you have started seeing some of them already resigning and backing Mr. Bia. Those who cannot even chair, a family meeting, who came up yesterday and said we want to become president, are today running and then endorsing Mr. Bia. So that euphoria is lacking.
Okay.
But then, what I've been saying is, even if it is lacking as of now, it should not discourage any Cameroonian. If actually we were for change, let's forget about those people who came out to talk for themselves and not for Cameroonians. Because those people who have been proclaiming themselves as presidential aspirants, presidential candidates to be, they have not been serious. But I know for sure that change is coming. It is not very far from us. And that change will start from us. By educating Cameroonians that those people who are not serious in talking about state affairs should not be taken seriously.
Mr. Peter, NDIWUM Emmanuel is giving the impression that the stage has been maybe occupied by a lot of crowns, people taking the presidential journey to be some sort of a child's play. Is that the same impression you share?
Well, Mr. Journalist, Cameroon as it stands today is at the crossroad, politically, socially, and economically. You know, since independence, our nation has undergone a journey of political consolidation with periods of very hyper-centralization, constitutional reforms, multi-party politics. And I think it is very important that when we have such a moment, it is important we reflect on how can we contribute so that let politics be a tool that will serve people than being a tool that will divide people. That said, as we all prepare for the 2025 presidential elections, we are all witness, with a unique democratic journey marked by political maneuvering, marked by public anticipation, and one of the driving force, in this euphoria is the uncertainty surrounding the candidacy of the current president of our country, President Paul Biya. It is true we have heard people's calls from the northwest, southwest, and all over the whole place. But he himself has not made any official statement whether he is running or not. And that is the excitement. Unfortunately, this brings us to so many questions, and I'm certain that even within the CPDM, I mean, they are in total confusion because, you know, when you are going into a battle without knowing the position of your commander-in-chief, it becomes very, very worrisome. However, I think the current euphoria we are all experiencing, especially with the Cantos rally in Paris, should not be taken for granted. I love it because it will awaken our democratic spirit, and if properly harnessed, you know, we can get a meaningful change. So I think that it creates an awareness amongst Cameroonians, because for some time, you know, there has been a lot of dormancy, political dormancy, and when we have such, you know, excitement coming from Canto's side, it is very, very important. And I just pray that let that excitement be translated or be transformed into a meaningful change. Let it not fizzle out, you know, under the weight of any political inertia or limited structures.
I saw Kedia smiling, maybe because you said Bia has not said anything. Maybe he wanted to remind you that Bia is a natural candidate.
No, you have not said anything.
Okay, Mr. Kedia, let me begin with you from this. What do you make out of Cantos rally in France?
Permit me to talk about instead with the chairman of my party rather than talk about rally out of the country. You asked everybody about the euphoria, and you came to me, you decided to ask about something else.
Let me begin with you from there.
Permit me to talk about the euphoria. And I would like to pay more attention with the youth of the Southwest, all in all the division and subdivisions that contributed millions to support the head of state to the candidate. And we also saw that in Northwest, where people came out and they contributed massively, and now we also have that of the littoral region that is coming up. I think that is the euphoria we are talking about when we see youth from all tribes. I saw those that were Bayangians, those that were Bakwarians, those that were Oroko. They all came out in the southwest region. Same in the northwest region, where we all saw people from we all saw people from all the youth came out to contribute, of course, to support the head of state. That is the euphoria we are talking about. That's the consciousness of the Cameroonian youth to support the head of state.
I'm not cutting you. You continue. When you talk of those contributions, is that necessary?
We are in democracy, and the people have the right to decide. And if the youth, of course, have decided democratically with love and happiness to support their champion by contributing money to support him, does it
not sound like taking a glass of water to throw into an ocean?
That it's how it may sound in your head, but we see the desperate youths that want the head of state, President Paul Biya, to be in power, and they are contributing to support him. That is what we call democracy, freedom of choice and freedom to support any candidate they have. I'm talking about other political parties. I will obviously want to talk about the 16 political parties that per the law, per the electoral code, per article 221 of 121 of the electoral code, we have 16 political parties, of course, that are eligible. I would like to talk about them, and not a political party that is not there. And among that, among the 16 political parties, we have 8 already that have their congresses and they have declared their candidates. And so I think we should even be talking more about them. We have people like Mr. Barrister Keremuna. We have people like Mr. Cabralibi. We have people like Mr. Puemo of the UMS. Many of them that, of course, they are carrying the flag of their political party. We should talk about them and not to talk about rallies that we see. They say thousands of people, but we'll look at the number of registered members in that country under Elekam. We asked if people from other countries were invited in that meeting, but for us in the CPDM, for us it's not important. They are free to go with their social media meetings. But what's important is our love for our head of state and the contributions are going on.
Dr. Akojon, before I get to the next question, I just want you to react to that party that Camto had in France, just briefly.
I said it during my first opening. that when you see Cameroonians mobilize abroad and are unable to be allowed to mobilize the same at home, you know, the fear you just saw with the decision of the senior divisional officer for Vuri is the consequences of the Paris meeting, and which they are thinking that the return of Kamto will be a triumphant entry into the nation capital, political capital, and so it might affect other political forces. I want to react something very, where Mr. KEDIA just said here, but maybe he's not aware in his grammatic expression. He said he saw the desperateness of the Cameroonian youths, and I want to ask,
the desperateness
to support the head of state. Complete the statement, complete it.
I don't know.
He wants to cut the statement and turn it all over.
I am a tourist.
He wants to cut it and turn it over.
I'm a tourist, and I have a right to my language and where I take and what meaning I will give.
Of course.
Who has rendered them desperate, and for what should they be doing? People we see begging on the street, people without job, people who left university.
I said desperate to support the head of state.
Yes, in supporting
I did not say they are desperate in something else. I will not allow my statement to be deformed.
I will give you time to talk.
Yes, I don't want defamation.
I will give you time to talk.
Take it very well. The desperateness in supporting the head of state
is
coming with the destruction of the very foundation of the training of these very youths. And I want to let KEDIA know that what he never saw again, which is again more desperate, is that the same children or youths were fighting for 2,000 francs in their buses. Because those 2,000 francs were shared inside the bus. They never wanted the press.
Where is that?
He would have witnessed
I didn't see that in the northwest. I didn't see that in the southwest.
I said it has happened everywhere, and that the money raised was not even raised by the youths. Get it well. And that the people who stood even on newspapers and TV.
Which region did that happen?
KEDIA, I will give you time to talk. When you were talking, they were listening.
Let us talk. I like you talk. Yes. When you saw the same people who came out to hold microphones to talk on behalf of the youths, they were not even the youths. Because I'm still to find out if those were youths or those were members of the CPDM committee who are propagating and using the youths as laboratory rats to express their political, I don't know, maneuver. And it is time we need to tell Cameroonians that it is not because you have the state finances that you keep on manipulating what you have rendered them useless for the past 43 years or desperate, so that they keep on hungry for bread and sardine, that they share now bread and sardine publicly, and that become as an armor to provoke Cameroonians. The finances they are using are Cameroonian finances. And one thing I want them to let also to know, those who are behind that the head of state remains a natural candidate like KEDIA. I'm happy he's here and I'm talking to him, that the days are not long and we are not far. When that change comes, let me see somebody of the opposite end coming to cry and clamor. We are Cameroonians and we should know that honesty is sacred, and that is what holds the foundation of a nation. Why stand for somebody who is unable to stand? I'm telling you, you just said it, that the head of state himself is unable to express himself.
Who said
about
that?
Whether he's standing on, he has not done that.
Who said that?
I said declare himself.
Anyway,
the 8 parties that have declared already is a CPDM among.
We have a natural candidate.
No, please, it's not part of that. By law.
He is the one that said it. Defamation again.
Where's your Congress?
No,
you call 8 parties here.
KEDIA, do you need
8 parties have declared their candidacy.
Yes.
Is CPDM among?
Of course.
KEDIA, please.
How? I've not seen it. No, I've not seen it.
KEDIA, please.
That's what they
Congress.
KEDIA, please.
We have a
We
bureau
need a
politic.
CPDM Congress.
KEDIA
politic has the right.
Of your leader.
That's not our
That's
constitution.
the legality.
No.
That candidacy remains illegitimate.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ako. KEDIA, if you need a pen and a paper, I will give you so that you will not interrupt and then waste.
No, I stopped
time.
defamation on what I said.
Anyway,
when somebody
you can note
stop
it.
immediately.
You can note it, and when I give you the
there
mic,
are
you'll
other
be able
things
to
that
say
I know, but defamation on my statement, I don't stop.
Okay, Ndjoume Emmanuel,
Yes,
you've been listening to the different political actors. I want us to zoom a little bit on their messages and their political programs. Do they meet the demands of Cameroon at this point in time?
Please, just very briefly. It is dangerous to lie, but it is more dangerous to tell a lie when you know that you are lying.
Okay.
I want to think
you can be forgiven if you are innocent.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to think that what my brother KEDIA just did here is a voluntary lie, which is not accepted in a normal state.
Okay.
To have said that the youth came out desperately, I underline the word desperately. I'm a youth. I've never been desperate. And that's why I can never be out to cry for the man who mortgaged my future. I can never be out, desperately crying for the man who killed my dreams and killed the dreams of my children, who indebted my children, who shall pay for a debt that they never consumed. That said, when I listen to most of them, if we want to go by the ideology of whether their manifestos meet the needs of Cameroonians, we'll be missing a point.
Okay.
As of now, NDIWUM, I just want change first.
Okay.
Let any creature enter into the first.
Even the one you call clowns?
No, listen. A clown at times is more useful than someone who wants to be the author and authors it wrongly. So what I'm saying is, as of the moment, among clowns, there are useful clowns that we can shape them, but there are some that can never be shaped. So I am thinking that, like majority of Cameroonians, as of now, 43 years, one man has been sitting on our neck. 43 years, we have been paying bills for what we never bargained for. 43 years, our roads, our precarious conditions are looking at us. We no longer need messages or manifestos. We just need a strategy. Let somebody step up. But if we were to go a bit scientifically, when you listen to the messages, you discover that very few of them, some of them just want to gain fame. That I was once
a presidential
aspirant. When I listen to somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto, I think he made a very big mistake in 2020. But when I listen to his message, I always have notes to copy. When I listen to senior citizens like Batonia Akeremona, it gives you every reason to believe that there can still be hope for this nation. That is somebody who has opted not to be the president. For those who are watching and they don't know, some people just think he wants to be president. No, that's somebody who have opted to take Cameroon on a transitional basis and reform what has been deformed for 43 years, and then hand it to the youth. And that message should be clear. When you listen to people like Cabral Libi, somewhere along the line, we were tempted to believe in some of them. But as days goes by, the problem I have with most of them is that they are focused on fighting each other rather than fighting the real enemy, which is Netute. So all of this put together, I think Cameroonians are intelligent enough to know that a president sitting in even for 10 years there without having a clear dimension of how to take us out of this quagmire, it will never work. We need somebody on transitional basis, not somebody going in for another 7 years.
You will share with him somebody for transitional basis, not others. Somebody is coming in permanently as president.
Yes, I share with him, but permit I go back to some certain things that my brother KEDIA said. KEDIA, if truly you guys love Paul Biya as you claim, if you love him sincerely, please ask him to go and rest. This guy has served this nation. He has outlived
his day.
He has outlived his value. It is important that if truly you guys love Biya, let him have a well-deserved rest. Let him experience another aspect of life after being a president. He has children. Certainly those children have grandchildren. He can go and be taking care of the kid. When I see a young man like you on before millions of televiewers clamoring that you have your champion, your natural, I love that guy. I'm a patriot. And the only best advice I can give Biya at this moment is say, Daddy, is to say that, Daddy, go and rest. You have worked, you have served this nation. There is no other, we need a new dynamics. That said, let me go back to your question. Just like what he said, the most important thing we Cameroonians want is change. However, we have so many opposition candidates who are going around the whole place trying to sell their ideologies. I have struggled to peruse through their different visions, and I'll tell you sincerely, my only concern is that some people just want to change Biya, changing BIA will
Some
not
have their
solve our
program,
problem.
which is BIA must go.
Which is BIA must
Nothing
go.
else to add.
Nothing else to add.
Okay.
But changing only BIA will not solve our problem.
Okay.
What I think is BIA and the system. Reason why I buy into the program that Barrister Akerimuna is selling, a non-renewable transition program, because with the level of decay of our nation, at some certain point we need to press a pause button. We need to stay put, go back to the drawing board, redesign our nation. But all this other campaign of wanting that BIA must go at all costs, true is good, but will it solve our problem?
What do we need to redesign? The people or the institutions?
No, the institution. That's why with the non-renewable transition program, it permits us to go back to the drawing board. It permits us to give value to our nation. We redesign it, configure it, strengthen our institutions, and organize a free and fair election, creating a level ground whereby each Cameroonian, you know, when you have the merit, then you should be given the chance. Not what we are seeing today. Those who are managing us are people with less merit, and that is why in my introduction, when I say we are at the crossroad economically, go and see the amount of young people drinking alcohol, and they are the same young people. My brother will tell me that they are contributing money so that they can to support the candidate.
There's an independent candidate, an independent aspirant that says he's going to stop alcohol. So
yes, when you look at the production rate of our country, we are down. Things are tough. People are not working. People don't have where to go. Reason why I strongly support the non-renewable transition program of Batuna Akerimuna. That will permit us to redesign our institutions, give value to our institution, and then we have a new kickoff.
Okay, if you are watching us from wherever, in Cameroon or abroad, you have the opportunity to contribute to our talking points through the number you have on your screen, WhatsApp and SMS only. Your messages should be short and straight to the point. We'll be able to take some before the end of the program. KEDIA, we are in June. Everything being equal, election is supposed to be in October. We've not yet had the political program from the CPDM. Is it that maybe there is still time, or it's not necessary?
It's very important, and this thanks for this very question as a political scientist, so that I should help and explain to Cameroonians. At this period, we are talking about candidacy. When we will talk about the manifesto is during the period of campaign, which is about 15 days. So Cameroonians should not think that this is the time we will start to talk about our project. And I know some quack political parties that don't even know what is a project thing, that will start to talk about our own, so that they can do some panabiting to declare to the Cameroonian people. We are talking to that of those of the CPDM, our militants. We know that you
please let KEDIA talk, please. Let KEDIA talk, please.
The truth is, we all know, and we are all a testimony that the ruling party, CPDM, is doing its possible best to maintain itself democratically while respecting the rule of law. While opposition political party are fighting among themselves to be the main opposition political party and not even to rule the nation. So at that level, we don't even have time. Let them keep on fighting that our candidate is the best, the other opposition has gone up and down. That is not our business. But to answer your question, as I rightly said, during the period of campaign, as it will be in the electoral calendar, it will be for 15 days. For now, as I was telling one of my co-panelists, please, our constitution of our party talk about a congress being held or a bureau politique to sit and decide.
All those bureau dead, man. All of them are dead.
And people most of them are dead at every party. Most of them are dead. All of them are dead. That's your business. You have the right to say what you want to say. As one of our co-panelists also said here that some people gave 2,000. I asked where did they give the 2,000 in the bus. No fact was given to us. Some said they say youth, that he needs to, they are not youth. After a few seconds, he said he is not sure that they are youth. After declaring that they are not youth, this is the issue we have when we try to mix everything up. But I will still say here that when it comes to the euphoria, the highest euphoria, of course, is at the level of the CPDM, where the youth, I still repeat, desperately contributing money to support the head of state. I still say it. Contributing money to support the candidacy of the head of state.
Okay.
Because I know some of my co-panelists here wanted to use the word desperately to turn it upside down, to do what they want to do as they consider as politics, where they get a statement, they double it to bring out negativity.
Okay, KEDIA, if I should summarize what you said, you are telling Cameroonians that the CPDM is telling Cameroonians that it is still early to send across a political program.
Of course.
Okay.
A political program is during the period of campaign, and we've not arrived at the period of campaign, which is at the electoral.
They have nothing.
Dr. Ako Jun, I want us to look at the role of the social media in all this mobilization. How would the social media, in your point of view, would the social media be able to shape the narratives this time around?
Yeah, obviously, when we start with some few individuals declare their candidacy first of all through social media.
Yeah.
Many never had even followers. Like I was asking, 20th May came and passed. I was still waiting where others gathered to even talk about their candidacy. Okay. Some those who first day they declare, we saw them on Facebook and WhatsApp. And that was the last day. And TikTok. Some are actively on TikTok. You cannot deny it. Yeah. That is why they say they are doing their campaign. Okay. Not even, like I said to others, social media has its role. But then social media is not where the voting or where the militants will gather. So we need to carry our meetings from social media to physical meetings. And except that is translated, you will not know who is on the other side of the TikTok page talking to you. And like I said, where I belong, we just declared last week that those who don't have a voter's card need to leave our organization. Okay. And so we get them right up to this Friday.
That's interesting.
Yes, that if you don't have your voter's card, you leave us because you don't have a meaning for us. Because few days to election, what we need is we need Cameroonians who have a voter's card, which we have been considered as the most valuable weapon in October. And if you don't have it, you are not supposed to be with us. We don't need to count militants who come and clap hands, then are happy and then give you the go-ahead. This is what happened on social media. You find people appreciating another candidate. Oh, you are most wonderful. I will support you on Facebook and all the like. But ask those very people, where are they? Where are you located? You don't even know where your militants are. When you ask me today that where are your followers, where do you find them? I'm capable of telling you that, okay, if I get to Douala 3 and I'm seated there now, say, please join me here. In less than 4 or 5 hours, they will join me. I have not asked them to join me online, but they should join me physically. Okay. So social media has a role, and we must not only rely on it like others are doing now. I still expect that few days to closing of the electoral list, we need Cameroonians to multiply more visits on election centers to register. And if you have not registered, like we have been saying together with my brother NDIWUM, if you are not registered, then the problem of this country is you and not even President Paul Biya. Because for us to change the leadership, that means you must have a voter's card and you should be capable of eligible voting. So if not, why should we consider you? That is what is happening even at the level of the ruling party of Mr. KEDIA. What they consider to do for you to benefit the 2,000 or 4,000, like you see during the just ended anniversary of the head of state. A lot of that people, when they took sardine, took their 2,000, they are registered members of the party. They don't count them on social media. So if we want to copy, we can copy something good from that ruling party, but might not be the sardine and the bread part of it. So let's create the civic awareness that Cameroonians have to register. And I'm crying and using this particular platform. If you have a brother or a sister or a friend or a child who is in your house that is above 20 and that child is not registered in the electoral list, you are the beginning of Cameroonian problem. Get everybody in your household registered for voting. And until we have that, we cannot be proud that we are going to change the system.
Before I take the mic from you, there is a message here. Dr. Ako talks so much about Barrister Akire Muna. Is it the support of Dr. Ako Jun or the support of the organization that he belongs to?
Yeah, I have so many organizations. Equally, the Abu Fan is talking. I'm talking about
the organization of the civil society.
Hope Movement. Okay. Yes, Hope Movement is my organization. I'm the national coordinator, and I'm talking on behalf of the Hope Movement. They have done that, and we are still doing it on several times. Batonia Keremuna remains the ideal candidate to transform Cameroon comes October.
NDIWUM, can this pre-campaign euphoria translate to maybe reflect the vote when the time will come, or at the moment it's just a kind of a hype?
It all begins from where Doc just ended. You must have a voter's card. in the absence of a voter's card, you should not speak when they are speaking. Because without the voters, and don't be surprised that even some of the people who parade themselves as presidential aspirants have not yet registered. Those TikTok presidents who are independent candidates.
Okay.
Some of them are not yet registered. So we are saying, you are asking if we can translate to real or concrete action. It is possible. It is possible if Cameroonians actually reflect on the suffering they have gone through. Those who have died in the Mediterranean Sea. When you look at Central Africa, you discover Cameroon is one of the countries that youths are dying every day on the Mediterranean, trying to cross. What is pushing them out of a once beautiful nation that has the natural resources, human resources, financial resources, and everything? Yet, someone said Cameroon is like a court. It's governed like a court. You don't know how it is governed, but you only feel the impact. And of course, the impact remains very negative, very heavy and negative on us. That's why I've been chasing people out of the country. If somebody really needs that, they should come and campaign for that person again before the person talks about change. Then there is a problem. There is a problem. The suffering of Cameroonians on daily basis is enough campaign for every Cameroonian to rise up and say enough is enough. I've been asking for 43 years, what has blinded Cameroonians' eyes to the level where they don't know how to stand up and do the right thing? But this is 2025. Thank God it's an odd number. And I want to believe that from this odd number theory, it's a time for Cameroonians to all think towards change. Even those in the CPDM, they are thinking towards change. Sometimes some of them speak out of fear to lose the little favors or to lose the little crumbs that they are already having. Not that deep in their minds, they are not aware that Cameroon is not well managed.
Okay.
I am saying that we want change. Even if the person is coming within the ranks of the CPDM, we still accept.
Okay.
We need somebody new to put in fresh impetus.
Okay. We have a lot of messages here. Let me just take this one. Good afternoon. My opinion in the conversation, Cameroon needs new system of government so our nation can change like other African countries. President Paul Biya has done his time and he deserves rest. That is coming from one of those who are watching us. Mr. Peter, when you look at the atmosphere that is already reigning, do you see a possibility of our, because he said opposition, fighting opposition, do you see the possibility of the big wings in the opposition joining forces before October?
Yes, you know, the CPDM, they have their style. And it is that same song that I've been singing for over a decade.
And we have been winning.
Giving an impression that opposition, they are always fighting.
Yeah.
You know, with the current euphoria we are all witness to, one of our major wishes is to see opposition parties come together. Even if it is just meeting to have a normal conversation without even talking about them coming together, it will give a new directive to Cameroonians who really want to see 2025 a new dream. You know, my wish today is to call all our opposition guys, let them see on how they can meet and take this nation forward. We are tired of the current regime and we think that our current leadership needs a well-deserved rest. He has served this nation and it is time for us Cameroonians to take back what duly belongs to us. If you look at the level of unemployment in this country, if you look at how state companies are being mismanaged, if you look at how all stratas, social stratas in this country are down the drain, it is high time, and I want to plead to all Cameroonians, go out there and make sure you are registered, you have your voter's card, so that on the D-Day, I don't even like to talk about which political leader now, or all we want is change. All we want is change, okay. And I am comfortable and I'm very assured that at the right moment, our opposition leaders will give us a good surprise package.
KEDIA, when you listen to the others, they are giving us the impression that the ruling party, the CPDM, is a champion in designing strategies to counter the activities of the opposition leaders.
You see, we are in politics, and they of the opposition, because all of them civil society, political analysts, they are openly clear that they are supporting Mr. Barrister Akeremona. So politically, pardon, he's led by Party Universe, so you can't say he's not led by a party. He's not an independent candidate. He
doesn't own a party.
Please. You are free to change now your statement. At least he belongs to a political party and not an independent candidate.
Go ahead.
You see, when we talk about opposition, political party, the CPDM has always been collaborating with this opposition political party that buy our ideas, and we are allied with them, because you see, apart of CPDM, the main opposition political party in Cameroon is the UNDP. That has the highest number of elected officials. I hope we know
that people shared with.
Yes. He has the highest. He has the highest
members of parliament with him.
He has the highest elected official, because normally we see
those who do not collaborate with you, their activities are banned.
I don't think the activities of Akeremona has ever been banned, which all of you here you support.
Is he collaborating with you people?
I do not say he's collaborating with us. I don't even want to go into that. But I just say that Mr. Akeremona that is not collaborating with the CPDM, his activities have never been banned.
Okay.
I've seen
attempted arrest in Maka.
In Maka.
You have those images.
He
attempted arrest.
Oh, okay, but there was no arrest. Thank you very much. You are confirming with me that he has never been arrested.
Okay.
Let us not talk about attempted, because there is no proof we can say attempted.
An offense is an offense committed. That's what I will tell you.
I don't want to go into that.
Yes.
Because I don't. There is another statement that is going on about what I read almost came. And when you make this statement, you see the same like that one that they attempted to arrest him. He was not arrested. So let us not mix things up. That is a sign to show the democracy which Mr. Akeremona, of course, him himself acknowledged. Okay. Let's talk about the opposition. We have, of course, Bello Buba Magare and the UNDP that have always been an ally to the CPDM. The CPDM believe in having ally, believe in collaborating with other political parties.
So you see that when it comes to
the FSC of Mr. Issa Cheruma.
You see that when it comes to the ideology of opposition with the left and right wing, the UNDP doesn't fall in that light.
Now, what I want you to know is that in Cameroon and the way politics is done, we have those that are ally, and we have those that support a political party because of individual, like the G20, yes, where they don't care about if they are right wing or left wing, but they support a candidate. The same way as Dr. here, his civil society organization is supporting Barrister Akeremona. So we always see all those aspects. But how is that done? I believe that he has sat and had certain agreement on how the electoral process and campaign will be done. And so that is what right now we are doing. We are ensuring that we keep our relationship with our allies very strong. We are ensuring that our militants that have already registered, they should convince their sympathizers to register at Elecam. We are saying that because remember, you know, when the electoral college will be declared, we have 10 days
of course,
to deposit candidacy.
Yes.
So when you see us youth contributing, it's because we are already forecasting what they are not forecasting to ensure that in 10 days time,
President Paul Biya tell you the youth that he doesn't have 30 million to pay.
Remember that it is not President Paul Biya himself. He belongs to a political party, and the party will pay. And those that love him
why trouble the youth, knowing that there are people in the party?
When you say why trouble the youth as a journalist, you give the impression that the youth they were false. Voluntarily, the youth came out. Oh, you need to see the euphoria in the southwest region. Dr. Anko will confirm that. The way all the divisions were represented, you saw the enthusiasm of the youth that came out in all their glory to support the head of state to be candidate.
Okay,
then who are we here to judge them?
Kedia, your message is gotten. Dr. Ako, when you look at the scenario right now, what would you say is the fate of the numerous independent aspirants that we've had coming up to say they want to be presidential candidates?
No, we, from the very beginning of this year, have asked why so many independent candidates. Yeah. And I even
there are about 30 people that have already said
some of them too were very close friends to me.
Both independent and those.
From that day, I have taken a distance from many of them, realizing that they are distractors to the real political change that we wish to have, and that all these are small satellite organizations that are seeking for recognition by the ruling party. And at the end of it, let me tell you, it will not be measured anywhere that some of them are going to endorse the CPDM. And they are looking for just those means so they can share in the campaign finances that is going to come forward. Okay. But worked out, and I look at a candidate, can you raise say 15 million to register your candidacy? Can you control even 5,000 people where you are? Who do you have apart from your family members who are your followers? Because I believe in those of us who are from the civil society, I can be very proud that I will tell Batonia Keremuna that as I'm following you, I'm preparing myself for 2032, but I'm not running for 2025. And it will be very normal that I want to take mentorship from him, from his next mandate, and then channel my energy for 2032. Cameroonians will now have at least another 7 or 8 years to prepare myself. But not just any type of Tom and Dick that's pop up. Even with Cocoa money, something they have realized a lot of money from Cocoa this year. So they just stand on social media and say, I want to be president of the republic. Some say the civil society from the Wogo were very biased and they chased them away. Yeah, that is what others are saying, that it was biased because it didn't go with those ideas. Okay. Because we cannot, for you to be a presidential candidate, for you to become a presidential candidate, tell us from where were you groomed. Your track record. Right, that is what we're saying. Okay. What is your training? What is your idea about the republic? Can you talk about the Cameroonian republic as a political moving train? You cannot just stand and talk. I should be capable of telling you the economic agenda I have for Cameroon and how I will make it work. That is my learning now with Batonia Keremuna. Okay. Within the 8 pillars, we try to break them down and now you can get to somebody who is in Yokatuma. Okay. But that's somebody who is in Furawa. How does he feel when they talk of youth and involvement in politics, which I have taken as an agenda? I am a youth motivator and I'm trying to bring the youth to that platform so they see with him. You cannot just get up and announce yourself presidential candidate. And I want to tell you that honestly, I will not ventilate but insist that Batonia Keremuna remain the right choice. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Doc. I will be coming to you guys. Let me just take this one other message. Good afternoon to the panelists. We need change, and the President Paul Biya knows that. That is why he always changes his prime ministers. Please, the CPDM government should stop painting roads in the name of tarring. That is coming from Gests from Bamenda. NDIWUM, I saw you wanted to react when Doc was talking. Yes. Sincerely speaking, managing a state is not like managing your quarter affairs. There are some people who are born as leaders. Some learned to become leaders. Some actually work themselves to become leaders. It doesn't suffice that somebody goes on social media and declares himself an independent candidate with a lot of confidence, and with this confidence insults almost everybody and then wants to manage the state. 99% of those people who have declared themselves independent candidates will not be fit. They will never feature, underline the word feature. They will never feature on the electoral paper of this country. Is it the money that will not be there or the 300 signatories that will not be there? Three things. The signatures will never be even up to 15. I can assure you that. 15, I mean 15. Yeah. If they bring it down to 10, 99% they will not have it. Even within the ranks for their family, that one. Two, the monetary aspect of it. Some of them, to speak very well on television and say a lot of things, doesn't make you a leader. And what's of it? How many times have you seen Mr. Biya on TV talking about state affairs? Very rare. Third, they are not in politics. They one factor that nobody can deny it. You must be a crowd puller. If you cannot pull a crowd, there are people, if they stand up today and say they are organizing an event, you will see 10,000 people, and they are very rich people, very influential on social media. Then they stand up today and they are organizing an event, they will end up celebrating the event only with their children and their wife. Those are not the kind of people who should stand up and declare candidacy. Thank you. But thank God, Cameroonians are very intelligent. They are wise enough. They have already seen such people. They have seen the arrogance, which would even be worse than what we are having now. Thank you, NDIWUM. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you, please. Let me just take this one. We have a lot of messages, please. Greetings to you all in the panel. Please, CPDM youths contributed money to support their president. Dr. Ako and the others should not see it as a problem. I think the youths of other parties should also do the same. That's coming from Rene in Bamenda. This will be your last word, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Journalist. What I just want to remind all of us sitting here, you know, for the past 1, 2, 3 decades, the way governance has been exercised in this country, it has given room for charlatans. It has given room for the less merit to get up one day and then tell us they want to become a presidential candidate. It is very, very unfortunate, but that is our situation. Reason why I'm calling on all Cameroonians, it is high time we all go and get ourselves registered so that at the D-Day, we will prove we can realize our dream. A dream of having a country that is based on merit. A dream of having a country whereby those who work hard will be rewarded. Okay. A dream of having a country whereby if you decide to live in Garwa, if you decide to live wheresoever, you can go there without any hitches. Okay. So it is very, very important that we all know this. And once again, I want to encourage all Cameroonians, saying that let us encourage but our own youth to contribute money. No. We know that that is just some kind of a rambling that has no standing. Our youths are suffering. Our youths have turned into drunkards. They don't even have money. Telling us this day that youth have contributed an amount of money. It's just another propaganda that will continue to take us straight into the gutter.
Okay, thank you so much. I have another message here. Please help me tell Mr. KEDIA, why is a youth that is unemployed desperately contributing money for beer? What will he gain?
Because he knows that Mr. Mbia will lead the nation to emergence and he will have a job. Okay. That's why he has that confidence. That's why you see them coming out in their numbers.
Saying that
see, the first thing you need to know is trust.
You are saying that the jobs that have been very rare for 43 years will begin to flow after.
When you say very rare, that's your opinion and that's your what you decide to choose. Okay. But we know that thousands of youths have been gaining employment. Okay. Many of them go to the ministry in charge of youth affairs. They do give them chunks of money to invest in various businesses. They so they should know that. We are not permitting me to talk about independent candidates, which I didn't really want to talk about them. Okay. But let me talk about them. What I will tell them is that the electoral college will be called very soon, and in 10 days' time, all candidates must submit their documents. After that submission, when they come on any platform, if I'm there, they will tell us at least one person that signed, a chief or an elected official. Okay. If they don't tell us, they will decide on what we will do with them.
No, Elekam will decide. We are not the ones to decide. Elekam will decide who signs.
Will sanction them. But for them deceiving the people, that they are, many of them have said on platform that they are already having many votes. Yes. Many of them have said that they already have the 3 million, that the 30 million, that they will pay. After the submission of those documents, we want to see that receipt or those that have signed. Okay. We don't need to wait for Elekam. They can show us.
The issue is that when, after the 10 days, Elekam will be publishing the list. Those who will be there, you will know that they had the 300 signatures.
No, there are some people that they will not be published because they don't have up to 300.
No, I'm saying that
we are saying that we just want to see. Okay. Somebody that has one, because we know those.
The target is on those whose list will not be published.
What we are saying is that we have comedian. Yes. I even saw a student in Form 5. About 70 years came out also to declare.
But that is how the system has been built, to give room for charlatans.
Gentlemen, unfortunately, we don't have.
Are you surprised?
NDIWUM, 50 seconds, please.
Yes, that every Cameroonian should think of rendering services to a nation where some people have been doing the service to this nation for 43 years. It's a collective call.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that October 2025 is a duty for all Cameroonians to experience and express the change that we have desired and abandoned for 43 years. There is hope in Cameroon, and that the hope is now.
You are on 10 seconds.
I want to call on Cameroonians, certainly by the 31st of August, they will close the electoral register.
Once the elections...
Before the electoral college is called.
So I want to call on Cameroonians that get up on Monday morning, make sure you visit any Elekam office and get yourself registered, because 2025 October is our D month, a month to bring hope to the Cameroonians, a month to take our nation to a new dimension.
You don't want to give me 10 seconds?
KEDIA should not say please. Okay,
yes, I want to take this 10 seconds to thank the head of state for serving the nation as the prime minister, for serving the nation as the president of the republic. This number of age he has used to serve the nation, and he is still willing and lovingly to serve the nation, is enough for us to thank him and encourage him to bring us to that emergence of 2035.
Thank you, Mr. KEDIA. We are sorry if we were not able to take your message. We have tons of them. We could not read all. It is here we are drawing the curtains of the program. If you missed out on anything, the rebroadcast will be on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. And if you are still to get your voter's card, you have to make hay while the sun shines. There is no time. Until we meet again next Saturday, stay blessed.